swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. I swear these other podcasts are just a waste of time. I'm skipping through them, I'd rather listen and change my mind. Wes and Nick always help me through my daily grind. Your favorite guys, your favorite lines, change my mind. Yeah.
Nick, I don't think I will ever watch The Godfather. Any of them.
Yeah, why?
Change my mind.
Okay, this is an easy one. And Tim is back in the saddle, so you feel free to hop in on this. Okay, first of all, it is a in-depth story about mafia life.
I know the story. There's been enough spoofs of it to where I get the gist. I know enough about the movie.
You get the gist, but you don't know everything about it.
Yeah, it's like a man is never really a man unless he takes care of his family. Family over everything. I get the idea.
Yeah, but it's not just family over everything. It's like this guy did not want to do it. He was like, I'm staying away from this life. He tried to go on the straight and narrow, do all the right stuff, couldn't do it. They wouldn't let him live it. And it's great acting in the course of all.
The story has been told multiple times.
They were the original story, though.
That's what I mean. Like, I've seen it. It's long,
no,
it's slow.
Seen it. You haven't seen it, though. That's the thing. You haven't seen it. And there's great acting in it, too, Wes. Pacino is phenomenal.
I'm sure it's great acting.
And I tend to prefer the first one over the second one. Sonny, James Caan, phenomenal. I mean,
yeah, I know their names.
Stuff he does now. Well, I'm having to remind myself in the course of it all.
I just don't see myself ever watching it.
Well,
it's long. It kind of insists upon itself.
How does it insist upon itself? How do you know that when you haven't seen it?
It's such a big. Because I've tried to watch it before.
How far have you gotten?
I don't know. 45 minutes, an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
So it'd be tough to kind of figure out where it is exactly that is. I haven't seen it in a while myself. But either way, when
I think I'm good.
There was something else. There was another point I wanted to make, and I cannot recall what the hell it was. Tim, do you have anything to add to why he should see?
While he's racking his brain over.
I'm trying to. There's something a detail I had. Oh, I thought you were on. Sorry.
Am I on?
No, you're
no.
Mike 4. No. Oh, you know what? Now you are.
Okay. So I have to say I side with Wes on this one. I've seen the first Godfather. I wasn't that impressed, and I haven't seen the other two.
I think it's like, yeah.
I mean, I've tried to watch it again and again, but I've fallen asleep every time.
Every time?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I even tried to watch. So they have what they call the super cut or the master cut, where they put them all in chronological order. So it starts with the flashback scenes of Godfather Part 2. I was like, maybe I can handle it in that format where it's chronological. Nope. I was out in the first 10 minutes.
Wow.
So the big thing for you, Wes, is you love, with all the superhero stuff, does it matter? I need it to matter. How does that not matter? I mean, that is like that is film at its peak, at its pinnacle.
It's past me. I
think it's over your head. I think is what it comes down to. I think both of you. I think you're being anti is what it comes down to.
No, I just think, yeah.
I guess you guys don't have sophisticated enough taste as some of us do. That's why I can fully appreciate, according to Jim, Castlevania, just finished Van Helsing. Oh, that was
and
so
a nice
good.
Chilled bottle of red wine that's in your fridge for 2 months.
Right? I didn't even chill it.
Well, if it's in your fridge.
It wasn't in my fridge.
I thought you said you kept it in your fridge.
No, I didn't keep it in my fridge.
Well, you shouldn't keep red wine in the fridge anyway. Unless you're talking about a nice Beaujolais.
Well, I waited too long on either way.
Nice chilled red wine French.
Beaujolais, I don't know. Is that actually a thing you went?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
I only know it from the Blur song myself.
Yeah.
They mention it.
I know a thing or two about wines.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Scotch whiskey bourbon guy.
Oh, we know.
Don't need to freak. Yeah. What episode was that again?
I forget, actually.
It was the first one at your place. Yeah. That was just...
Right. I think it was Dark Phoenix. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
It was totally appropriate.
Yeah, right. That's absolutely true. Episode 33, Change My Mind podcast. I, of course, Wesley Sykes. Across the table from me is the Joe Russo to my Anthony Russo, Nick Fryer.
Oh, look at that. I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference in the end.
I don't, neither do I. I don't know what one from the other is. But, of course, we do have the man in the chair back, Tim Weisberg, and hopefully, which also means that we're live on our live stream, WBSM 1420 AM.
Yeah, buddy.
Fall River? No, we're
No.
just talking about Fall River.
Yes.
Fairhaven, New Bedford.
Yes, sir.
And we got another perfect episode lined up. The trifecta is here.
Yeah, finally. Back in the
Running
saddle
the
again.
three-man
like I said.
weave.
Yes. Tim, glad to have you back. Missed you.
Missed you guys too.
Oh.
That's great.
Okay.
Then I had to go through a whole football game without you.
That's true, yeah.
Well, what's worse for you is there's another part that I think is a little bit worse for you, not the actual game itself, but we'll leave that there.
No sports. Sports was last week. This week, however, we'll be talking about The Ringer's top 50 superhero movies of all time, as well as giving our own top 10. We'll be kind of going through, in different categories and kind of working our way down the countdown list there. And the reason why is kind of a slow week, be completely transparent. But they've also recently updated it as well. So I think the original list came out in 2017. Right around the time of Avengers Infinity War, kind of anticipation of that. And then they've been updated since with Avengers Endgame, Captain Marvel, your Spider-Man's Far From Homes.
There's some odd rankings in this one, Wes, and I
Yes,
think
very
you
weird.
There are some that you don't like that I kind of understand, and there are some that I have like they deserve to be on this list, but way too high. Some are a little bit too low. I'm excited about this, and Wes loves ranking stuff. Who doesn't love ranking stuff? I like ranking stuff too. So
Rankings. I want him.
all the time.
Yes.
You've been demanding that when it comes to the basketball show.
Yes. I think that's great content, though.
It is.
Then you get the debates.
It is, but you know as well as I do, you don't want to go and waste the rankings when you have other stuff to talk about because for small periods like this.
Oh, I won't get off, too off topic here. But I could argue that right now in the NBA world, it's pretty non-existent in the NBA world. Now is the time to do it.
Now is the time to do it. Yes, August, September.
There's only so much
time.
FIBA World Cup basketball you can cover.
Yeah, may end up being the show this week. But anyways, not what we're here to talk about.
But that is a great interview with Chris Aaron, by the way. 5L Podcast WEI.
Thank you.
Little plug when you can.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yes,
that very much.
that was awesome. That was good stuff.
Yeah, he's a good dude. Now, this week on for the new stuff, Wes, you got a couple things laid out for me nicely. This first one, I make fun of you all the time for like that you need to binge stuff, but I do think there's room for both. I think eventually we will see the episode by episode, week by week release kind of go away. At least that's what I thought. But then you have this little chunk of news here for me.
Yeah, it's a little late. I think this came out about a week or so ago, but Netflix appears to be switching up its business model and will release weekly episodes on select programming.
So dumb.
I hate it.
So dumb.
And this is what Disney Plus is going to be doing too, by the way, with their MCU related stuff.
I mean, see, the thing is that Disney Plus is new. They can kind of do whatever it is that they want, like DC Universe could when they started out, and all these other ones. They can decide what they want to do, and they can control the game. But Netflix, that's never what you've been. Like everybody, if nothing else, if Marvel and Disney are going to do that, then you should continue to do what you're doing because then everybody's going to want to go to you and say, hey, you know what? It sucks. I maybe like these shows a little bit more, but they still have the binging that I can do.
And it won't be, your offices, your parks and recreation, those type of shows, the Friends, the shows that they bring on that's not original content, I think will still be streamable or, bingeable rather. But it will be like the original programming, the Big Mouths, the Mindhunters, the
Peaky
Glows,
Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Actually, Peaky Blinders is BBC.
Is it? I couldn't tell the British stuff. Because I don't have BBC. Or I guess I do, but
I don't know if I have BBC on YouTube.
well, you get
TV.
the idea though.
Yeah, I get it. I forget. I can't remember.
I hate it. I just want to be able to turn it on, watch it when I want to watch it. If I go through 1 hour of television and I want to watch more of it, like I burned through the entire series of Mindhunter, 2 seasons.
Really?
Yeah, loved it.
How long did that take you? Like a week?
About 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay, that's.
But again, like I would watch a couple of episodes at a time, fall asleep, go back and watch a couple. Go back to where I fell asleep and then pick back up where I left off. Like
Yeah.
I want that freedom.
You need to have both, and I guess that's going to be their argument. Well, we can still do it with the, but even then, Wes, they're losing a lot of these shows too. I mean, you're probably going to be able to keep your sci-fis and your BBC and those like not as big entities, I guess.
Right,
or
but we know
companies.
Friends and
Seinfeld,
The Office and
all that stuff's going to go.
Well,
eventually.
Seinfeld's not on there right now, is it?
I thought Seinfeld was on there. Seinfeld's not on there.
I've been
Looking for it?
vastly overlooking it. If that's the case,
I can check it. Right, I can check it in the course of things. But I thought I was with somebody that had it on in my fantasy draft the other day. But either way,
That's I got to have that up in my algorithm if that's the case.
But the thing is, you're going to lose no matter what. You're going to be losing all of these things. Mm-hmm. You're going to lose that option. It's supposed to be mostly original programming, I thought. I just don't see how they think that's going to work. Seinfeld. I'm pulling it up right now. It's a bad idea. No, it looks like you were right. I don't know what the heck.
Yeah, maybe you're confusing that with Friends, which is a horrible TV show.
I like Friends, 1, and 2. No, I knew it was Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm. But I know you're a big Seinfeld fan. Anyway,
yes, of course. Yeah.
Moving forward, in a Screen Rant article written by Cooper Hood. Interesting name. I like that name. He argues that Hulk, the current iteration of the Hulk, should run for president in the MCU. Of course, we have a third presidential Democratic debate coming up, which I'm sure you'll be well aware of.
I had no idea.
Judging by the look in your eyes, I would say no. Yep. You had no idea.
Nope. Not a clue.
But that Hulk should run, be a presidential candidate. It would be a great one in the MCU. I think this is brilliant. I think he would be like a complete shoo-in for it. It makes sense because, one, he's very intimidating as the Hulk, but he's also very smart. And the Hulk that we saw, the quote-unquote smart Hulk or the Professor Hulk.
Yep.
Well, it's smart Hulk in the MCU, though. They don't actually – it's like they don't say Scarlet Witch or anything.
Right.
He is very mild-mannered. He's very personable. He's likable. All the kids want to come up and take selfies with him. He figures out time travel,
I think
like on a whim.
Yeah, but I don't trust that the people would get it right. It doesn't always, usually tends to not work out that way.
Well, not always.
Not always. Sometimes. But I think,
and it's all, it's all perspective.
Yeah, that's true too.
You may not like the current man who's in office right now, but there's people who think they did get it right.
There are people who think they did get it right,
and just like the previous one,
right?
Yeah.
No one's ever happy.
Exactly.
The one thing I will say about Bruce Banner, why I wouldn't be able to think he could be a politician, is because he's not.
I think he's honest too.
I think. Well, that's part of the problem.
I think that's great.
I think it is great, but at some point, like you run in, it seems like with every politician, there's always some backdoor deals that they're doing, right? We always hear about some BS. That's why I think Black Widow would be the perfect one because she's already has experience being a double agent. She's a politician in the making.
Well, first of all, with the current issues that are going on with Russia, you want someone who is trained to be a Russian spy to be the president of the United States.
I don't get what you're saying at all. I have no idea.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly.
I don't see any flaw in my argument whatsoever.
Now, see, I'm surprised you didn't go with Captain America.
You mean
because
Cap wouldn't do it? I want him to do it.
He couldn't be compromised.
No.
But he's, I would say he's stubborn to a fault.
Yes.
And I also think that he would also be a good puppet, though. A perfect PR person, if you will, which I think is kind of what the president is molding into. Maybe you don't have so much as a say. The position, not the current one.
No, I know what you mean.
Maybe you don't have as much say in what goes on. It's other people who are really pulling the strings, but you are just the face of the organization or the country, if you will.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Now, Tony Stark would obviously, but he's no longer in the MCU. Yes. I think he would be a great one.
I think he'd be a very good one.
A little arrogant.
Just a tad bit. But
what president isn't?
Right, but he's brilliant. Exactly. Come on. I mean, you have to have a little bit of an ego and be a little bit arrogant.
If you're going to run for president, right?
Of the United States.
Yeah,
hey, guess what? I am good enough to run a country.
Yes. Not only that, the greatest one in the world.
Yes, I'm humble AF though, for sure.
Right.
Real quick, we had someone in the YouTube chat mention that Seinfeld is exclusively on Hulu, so thank you, Adam, for clearing that up. And also, one thing I wanted to mention too, I have I
was wondering what this is
my
going on.
Theracane out, just so everybody knows, on the YouTube stream right now. I pitched on Friday, as you know.
Yes.
And I'm still feeling it in my lats.
Brag.
So I'm kind of working that out. We'll talk about that a little bit later on on my mind.
He really just pulled it out so that people would ask about it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, he doesn't need it.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I missed you too, Tim. You freaking dink. Anyways,
well, Tim, do you have someone from the MCU you'd like to see, or maybe just a comic book character to begin with?
It's weird. His mic's not working all of a sudden. Go ahead, Tim.
A good
presidential candidate. Ambush Bug.
That's DC.
Oh, who cares? I mean, it's just he's irrelevant.
Well. See, the thing is about the MCU stuff is there hasn't been a lot of politics inserted into it outside of, the whole mutant situation.
Sokovia Accords.
Well, but even that kind of plays into the same idea Like, it's no different than the same fight the X-Men had. You know, it's we're against the Avengers or we're against people that are mutants. You know, it's either way, it's the same storyline.
Fair point.
Type of thing. Whereas, like, DC Comics has a little bit more political intrigue in some of the stuff that they do, because there's always like foreign governments of made-up countries that are conspiring against the heroes. But,
Yeah, I think King T'Challa. T'Challa.
Chala. Or you're talking about the dad?
No.
T'Chaka and T'Challa.
T'Challa.
But yeah.
Is it like challah bread? Like, do you not pronounce the CH, or is it like
T'Challa.
T'Challa?
It's softer T.
Soft
You went a little too hard on it.
Okay.
It's T'Challa.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think he would be obviously a leader of a country.
yeah, you know what, though? I don't know if I'd necessarily want him to be the leader of this country.
What about M'Baku?
But I don't think he could. Because as a foreign...
Well, yeah, he's not
much
born
like
in
Black
America.
Widow. Yeah.
But
Black Widow.
my concern would be, you know, they kept themselves hidden for a long time.
It's true.
So I don't know if I really want somebody that, you know, doesn't have as much diplomatic experience.
Yeah, that's fair.
So...
Well, they were
a
involved
country.
with it. Yeah.
They just didn't let everybody know all the stuff. I would feel like if I was the UN, I'd be like, sorry about this, Wakanda, but we're going to have to put you on probation because what the F?
Yeah.
You've been holding out on us, man?
Right. You know, I guess maybe it's an easy thing to say Professor Xavier would be a great president.
See, I'm not so sure about that.
No, see, because he could use Cerebro to get into the minds of all the other world leaders.
No, but that's kind of like Cambridge Analytica now. I think we're crossing over into
I think he'd be
gray area.
effective in the role. There's not a lot of people that are good politicians. There's smart people. I mean, you could put a Reed Richards out
Beast?
there.
I don't want any part of Reed Richards. Beast is a good one.
Beast
Is a good one. He was a politician in the was Frasier when he played him.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
Thank you. Jeez, that's bad. I should have had that. He was a politician, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want him either.
And he made that stupid line in that fight in The Last Stand too. It was like there's some line about diplomacy that he said on the island, and it's like I remember just saying, you get the point. It's like, oh, thanks, Beast. That was really funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I think Matt Murdock would be good on a local level. I don't think he could be a national.
Like a city councilor.
Yeah, I could see him being like mayor of New York.
Mm-hmm. Or what's comptroller? Could be a good comptroller.
I don't know about comptroller.
I think Thing
Don't they
would be a
collect
good
the money?
face.
Isn't that what they do?
I don't know. I was just trying to think of
the Thing would be a good face of America.
You think so?
No.
Yes.
No, not at all.
He has no emotions. He's stoned.
Just face. Yeah, exactly.
He's stonewalled.
Yes, exactly.
I like it.
You
Okay.
just want to put him on some kind of currency?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
I should never have to look him in the face and say that is the face of America right there. It's an improvement from what
You
we
know what
have
we
now.
could put on there instead? America's ass.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the obvious
That's
answer
real
right there.
sweet.
Who would be the best president? Captain America.
See, well,
That's
we
what
were discussing
yeah,
that, but I think he would be too hard-headed.
That was when I was tuning out because
Yes.
I was trying to share the links in some groups.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Thanks
appreciate
very
that.
much.
Hey, no
Look at
problem.
you.
That's where Adam came from. So hello to Adam.
Man,
And look, we got that information. The man in the chair coming through here.
Yes, sir.
Bad Boys for Life trailer came out.
God, yeah.
That happened.
Yeah. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So that would be Bad Boys number 3 for those keeping track at home.
Yeah.
Give me as many as they can make.
I love them. They're like the first one was such a big part of my childhood. I really enjoyed the second one. Mm-hmm. You get a little bit of shake your tail feather action in there. Good soundtrack with Puff Daddy and Nelly, who we brought up. He went very high in the fictional football draft.
Nelly did. Yes.
Number 2 overall, if I'm not mistaken.
Number 2 overall, my number 1 pick. Yep, Meggett from The Longest Yard.
Earl Meggett.
Not Dave Meggett. Not after what he did. Anyway,
It's over my head.
he used to be a Patriot, but he did some bad things after his time with the team.
Who did you take first in that draft again?
Willie Steeman Beeman.
Who would you take first in a fictional fantasy football draft from all the movies? I feel like those are one of the 2 picks you go with.
You can't go Remember the Titans or Friday Night Lights, the movie, because those are real people.
Yeah. Like we went. There was another one I feel like, but anyways, I went. I
can't.
Rudy.
Yeah, you can't do
obviously.
Rudy. Yeah,
I can't
Who
remember
picked him?
I can't remember his name, but I would go, and I'm blanking on it. But I would go with Scott Bakula's character from Necessary Roughness.
Scott Bakula, shock of the century. If he's there,
That guy had
Tim's
an
picking
amazing
him.
arm.
You just pick him because of Scott Bakula and you love him.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Yes, I like the fact that I like Scott Bakula just because I like saying Bakula.
It's a good name.
Yeah, it's a
strong
great name.
name.
Yes.
How long did it take somebody to take
Waterboy?
No, Cuba Gooding's character?
No.
Oh
No, I think he's a real. I think he's also. Isn't he based
No,
on?
he's not. No, he's not
Radio?
a real guy.
Radio's not. No.
No, not Radio. Radio is a real guy.
Oh, okay.
No, from Jerry Maguire.
Oh, I took
Rod
him.
Stickwell.
I took
yeah.
him.
Stidwell.
I think he was
got
my
him, yeah.
second. He might have been my second pick.
Yeah. See, that's a good smart pick.
It was Meggett was to me was an obvious number one. But anyways, that was last episode for those interested. Anyways, we got one more bit of news.
Yeah, Bad Boys
before
for
we-
Life. We're talking
this
about it.
right,
We were talking about
Oh,
it.
sorry. Yeah, I'm out. I'm all set.
So,
I mean,
for
if
years-
you want to watch it for the sake of the show, I'll definitely watch it. But I'm all set with like way over the hill. Martin
It
Lawrence.
was Michael Bay at his finest. It was Will Smith, at least in the first one, at his finest. Martin Lawrence at his. It was a great cast.
Yeah, it was
You
friend
throw
of mine-
Gabrielle
peak.
Union.
A friend
who
of
was
mine
very
supplied the
attractive.
models
Yes.
for those movies. 'Cause
Oh,
he was
yeah.
a modeling company in Miami, so like he supplied the models.
Really
Yeah.
So you've been holding out on this whole
I
time.
only found this out recently.
shocker.
But I used to go like in the
Oh.
90s, you know, if you had to go somewhere where they like ask you for a name, I'd always be like, because everybody likes to give fake names. you know.
Sure.
I would go Mike Lowry.
Mike
That's
Lowry.
me. That's me. I'm Mike Lowry.
Lowry.
Like you would just stand there at the hostess stand at Pizzeria Uno.
Yeah.
And, like just keep insisting over and over again that you were Mike Lowry. They're like, oh, no, that's
No,
me,
we got
Mike
it.
Lowry.
We got it. We get it. Yeah. Welcome back, Tim Weisberg, everybody.
For real.
This is great here. But I'm in on that movie just for nothing else other than the member berries.
yeah, shocker.
Member.
I'm all set.
So no comic book minute this week.
No
a
com-
little
no.
late on the comics.
Yeah, this just I was looking. Marvel doesn't always put out their stuff like what's up for next week. I always get on Instagram. DC, there wasn't really anything new. I think it was like Batman, Nightwalker, and I was like, yeah. I looked at it and I'm all set. And there's nothing else. No Spawn, none of that. So
Okay.
anyways, we got our drinking buddies though.
Yes.
Tim has not been around for this, but I know he's heard it in the course of it all. But for those who don't know, what we like to do, and I of course did not put this out before the weekend, which is when I want to put it out, so you're getting in that frame of mind. We try and take two fictional characters and in debate or figure out who it is you would like to get drinks with. And we haven't really done it romantically or anything like that yet. More so as like Wes and I would do it as buddies, or
Yeah.
if we let Tim tag along.
Well, this isn't a date. It's drinking buddies.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I guess. Well, I guess I mixed messages. Wes, you got to really work. We got to talk about something after the
you
show.
got mixed messages when you guys went out to drink?
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
I am getting married this Saturday, so
Yeah.
I think they might be out the window. I think you missed your opportunity on that
Julie
one,
and
Nick.
I talked about it. She was fine. Whatever. It's fine. I guess I got to.
When it's your birthday, she's gonna let.
So this week we have Jar Jar Binks, and then we have Fire Fist from Deadpool 2, who's Russell,
Yes.
the annoying little dink.
Which makes me wonder why him?
Why him? Because that makes it a tough choice.
No, I think this is very simple.
Who are you going with?
Jar Jar Binks.
Really?
Yes.
Damn
Hands
it.
down.
I thought you wouldn't go with Jar Jar.
I agree.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
He does all that weird, stupid stuff. Like imagine him drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly thought you were going to get way too annoyed with him, Wes, and you'd say I'd rather just deal with Fire Fist and tell him to shut up.
No, and I also think that he would be. Now, this is an original thought. Blake Anderson from
Yep.
The Workaholics. This was something that he had said on another podcast, and I thought this was perfect. Is that he would be so much more likable in the Phantom Menace if he just had like a big old blunt in his hand the whole time.
Yeah.
And if he was just getting high, then it's like that. Oh, okay, all this stuff makes sense.
Now I get
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I've also said too, if he was a Sith Lord and he was just playing stupid the entire time, or pretending to be stupid
I
the
can
entire
picture
time.
that happening when you're drinking with Jar Jar Binks, like 4 or 5 shots in, and he
get
just
it
starts
from
getting
him.
like, it sucks being a Gungan, man. Just this is some messed up, you know.
And then we ran into this issue last week, and I think we'll have to think about this moving forward. Fire Fist underage. I'm not sure what the drinking age in Australia is.
Well, it's more of the idea that we're hanging out with him, I guess. But yes, what do you, so
basically, he's saying we're going to give a child alcohol.
no, it'd be like a club soda situation again with Ray.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if I had done Francis, would you have picked him over from Deadpool?
I would go with Jar Jar Binks over. Yeah,
okay,
Francis,
and
yeah.
Francis
Francis is like freaks me out.
Francis versus Fire Fist.
Fire Fist.
Dang it! I should have done that one. That was my original one, and I would go. I would have gone Francis over Fire Fist.
Really?
I can't stand Fire Fist.
I
He's
can't
such
either.
a punk.
But Francis is like kind of scary. That whole like torture scene, like no, thank you.
I would love to hear what goes
I'm
through that.
afraid that he's going to get you drunk and then throw you into one of those, torture chambers.
I would love to hang around with that guy for like 5 minutes and then hear what's going on with him, like what runs through your mind that you think any of this is okay, and like what you found in your
Don't
research.
you think you're just going to piss him off?
No, I just let him talk the whole time. I'm totally fine with that. Most
Okay.
of what I want with these people is someone that I can just listen to the whole time.
Okay.
Which is, man, with Jar Jar, I feel like you want back and forth.
Yeah,
You think you can have back and forth with Jar Jar
I
Binks?
think so.
Huh? Okay.
I'd be willing to find out. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you know what? We're 3 in now, and this is the first one.
We're learning.
First flop.
Yeah.
So, fine.
I would do nothing but surfer on acid shots with him because I feel like you have to get kind of weird. Kind of like weird. I forget what it is. I would have to look it up, but I've done them a couple times, and it's always awful hangovers.
I can't. I mean, dude,
You have to get like weird shots, and I think you could drink me under the table.
Dude, he's a mess. I don't know how he's gonna handle that alcohol. I really don't.
Yeah,
And I don't know how I don't know how you're gonna handle it. I think
Jaeger or something like that.
I think this is a misjudgment on your end. I think that you would lose your mind after a while.
Okay, well, we'll see. Like I said, I'd be willing to find out. I knew if Fire Fist texted me, say, "Hey, you want to go get some drinks?" and I say,
You would not respond.
yeah, I got something going on today.
Gotta go do the podcast. Sorry.
I'll hit you back.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm in same camp as you. All right. So
Drinks? What are we drinking?
okay, with Jar Jar, it's gonna be some. With Jar Jar, it would be something fruity for sure. Although,
Like a rum punch, or like a tasty sangria,
There'd be like some weird fish in it, like
some jungle
tequila
juice
worm.
type thing, where like
Whoa, that's racist, man.
no, it's not.
Yeah, because people think Jar Jar's a black caricature.
oh
is
yeah,
it?
that's right. Yes,
okay.
yes.
I didn't even think about that. No,
Be careful.
I was just thinking of something fruity.
He was like, "What are we gonna
yeah.
drink with Jar Jar? Some OE, 40 a Heffenreffer private stock."
I think he'd end up going with something with rum. I think you had it right with the rum.
A nice little rum punch.
Why is the rum gone?
Yes.
That could be. Oh, maybe we'll do something with Jack Sparrow for our drinking buddies next week.
We think about that.
Gotta figure out who the good match is, though. That's what's so tough.
Captain Jack Sparrow or Captain Phillips.
I think I know who I'd go with on that one.
Captain Phillips was drunk, wasn't he?
I think he was.
No. I'm thinking of Sully Sullenberger.
That's right, you are.
You're getting your Tom Hanks confused.
Yeah, your Tom Hanks captain character's confused. Real quick, Tim, we did first we did Tony Stark and Peter Quill. Who would you pick between those two?
For
Drinking buddy.
I would go with Tony Stark,
Okay. That's what Wes went with. I went with Peter Quill. And then we had...
just because I would never be able to afford that same liquor otherwise.
That's what I said. He's picking up the bill.
That's fair enough.
We're going to be drinking that Johnny Walker Gold label.
Absolutely.
And then you have Ray and then Zendaya's interpretation of MJ. Who would you pick between those two?
Jesus, that's creepy.
You're hanging out with them like friends, dude. You're trying to act
It's
like...
still
Yeah,
It's not a
creepy,
date.
like-
Yeah.
it's not a date. Act like
Are
you're
either one of
mature.
them old enough to drink?
No, they're not.
No, we don't know that.
We'd have mocktails.
So we know what Zendaya's character is not.
Yeah, no, her MJ would definitely be
It's
way
more
more fun.
you're just hanging out and... Oh, was it?
I would definitely go with MJ in that case.
Okay.
Way more fun.
You guys
Yeah.
are in lockstep on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that's a pounded, brother.
We like to have fun.
You like to have fun. That's what it is. Okay. Anyways, so on to the main topic, main item, Wes. Is it
Yeah,
time for
let's
that?
do it.
All right. So as you said before, we have the Ringer's top 50 superhero movies of all time. Do you want to explain whatever else is you got to explain on this?
If you could read through what I got, I got to
Okay.
pull up something right now.
So this originally came out around the time of Avengers Infinity War, but has been updated since Avengers Endgame came out, Spider-Man Far From Home, Dark Phoenix, which I'm fairly certain that was not on here.
Right.
And
yes, I think you should.
all those came out this year. Yeah, if that was on this list, then it's invalid. They use the following criteria to make up the list. We have critical success that's based off Rotten Tomatoes scores, which again is just a flaw in what we do because Rotten Tomatoes sucks, which...
That kind of turned me off a little bit, actually.
You know what? We got to do one of those soon. We haven't done
We
one
should
in a while.
bring one back,
We
yeah.
did action and we've done romance, right?
And comedies.
And comedies, yes.
Yeah.
We've done 3, so we got to figure out. Maybe we'll do. We'll figure something out. Anyways, so then we have the adjusted box.
We have Halloween coming up, but I'm not a big horror movie guy.
Yeah, you are not. And I'm not either, but I think you even less so than I am, which is hard for me to imagine. But adjusted box office rating, adjusting each movie's domestic total gross to, I guess, 2017 standards.
Yeah, and they did something where they take the highest and the low. Like they said something else, but I think that's the basic gist of it.
Mm-hmm. Rewatchability, scale of 1 to 10. Would you rewatch this movie? It's pretty self-explanatory. Timelessness, scale of 1 to 10. Could this movie be improved by being remade?
Which I thought was a nice little touch right there.
I do think that's a very nice touch. Some of them, yeah, okay. So we got the you broke it up into the groups of 10, and we'll just go through those, and then we'll end up giving our top 10s.
Yes.
And Tim, if you figure it out between now and then what your top 10 is, we'll go through yours as well at the end.
Okay, so we'll start at number 50 here. This is 1990. So I'll list them, and then we react. Right? Does that sound fair?
Sounds like a plan to me.
So number 50, 1994's The Crow. 1995's Batman Forever. Number 48. 2008's Hellboy 2, The Golden Army. Number 47, 2013's Thor: The Dark World. 2013's Man of Steel at number 46. 2011's Thor at number 45, the original Thor. Or first Thor, I should say, in the MCU. 2019's Shazam comes in at number 44. 2006 X-Men: The Last Stand, which I believe is the third one, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct, yep. The first shot at the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yes. Number 43. 2015's Ant-Man at 42. And then number 41, 2012's The Amazing Spider-Man. That's with Andrew Garfield at 41.
Okay, so this one is clearly flawed. Because Shazam, no shot in hell it should be that far down.
That high. Well, it's like I always get confused at that.
All right. How are we're gonna get in unison on this?
Yes, yeah.
Do we want to say far down? If it's towards the closer to 50, the further down the list you are. Because number one's the top.
I think we're counting down though.
But number one's the top, right?
So that's where I'm get confused.
What would you say?
I think what Nick's saying is right.
Okay.
Yeah, because number one's your top ranked movie.
So you're falling
so
down the list.
Okay.
So then, all right. So she's honestly, Man of Steel. I appreciate Thor. I'd rather watch Man of Steel than Thor.
I agree.
I would rather, and then Shazam being at number 44 is a goddamn joke. I mean, it's better. I think most of these are better than Last Stand. Ant-Man deserves to be higher on this list too. I don't like it so far.
So it's flawed right from the beginning.
You think the
Crow should be much higher.
Much higher.
As should Batman Forever.
Yes, I agree.
Like it's.
I like that it's on the list, but I understand that it's low.
You're talking Batman Forever or The Crow?
Or high. That's gonna screw me up.
No, say low. Say low.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I think that it's a great comic book movie. I mean, it's
It
not
really is,
trying to be a movie that happens to be about superheroes. It's a superhero movie.
Okay, so how about this, right? You scrap one from the list of 10, you lower one, and then one that's properly rated. So moving forward, I think that's kind of a good way to kind of keep this nice and tidy.
Do you have that written in the notes?
No.
Okay, so
no,
you scrap one, you'd move one up, and then you'd lower one.
Yeah, so the notes of what I have is just some of like my own personal notes.
Right.
I don't know if you want to bring that up in a website or anything, but I just thought of that now in the moment.
Okay, good. I like that idea.
Scrap one like it doesn't belong on the list at all. Then if it's in this group.
Yeah.
Or scrap one every group like it
in
doesn't
one
go on the
group.
list at all.
One should be higher, one should be lower, and then one's like properly rated.
Okay.
Okay, one that should be higher. God, I mean, Ant-Man and Shazam. It's a toss up there. I'd say.
I'm saying Ant-Man. Ant-Man should be. You know how I feel about Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Ant-Man deserves to be higher. I think I might like Shazam more, but Ant-Man is definitely the better movie between the two.
Better character, I think, too.
If I'm gonna take one out, I mean, the easiest one to take out is probably Thor: The Dark World. As much as you want to throw shade at the Last Stand, Thor: The Dark World, which is. And what was the third?
I see. I'm throwing out Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
Did you see that?
No.
See,
which is, again, I don't. I'm like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
No, I'm throwing that one out too, and I did see it.
Why are you throwing? I would have the first one on this list over the second one personally. You haven't seen either of them, right?
Yeah. Again, why? You have to grab my attention and wanting to go see it.
Mm-hmm. Well, these came out years before. These came out before.
I understand
were
that.
huge.
Yeah. But I was still watching. I was still watching X-Men. I was still watching Batman. I was still watching all the Superman movies with Christopher Reeves.
I think Hellboy is too. I'm surprised that you don't like it, Tim. I'm not fully surprised that you don't like it, Wes.
It's just not for me.
The comics and stuff. I've told you before. I would never recommend it to you. I would never recommend the movie that just came out. As much as I kind of liked it. Yeah, it's just. I think it's too far in.
If you ask me, Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, and The Godfather, same conversation. Get them out.
That's not.
No, that's hot take spewing
that
right there.
That is ridiculous. So
I'm boiling over with the hot takes.
It was take one out. It was move one up.
And one that's properly rated.
Oh, properly rated?
So, like, for me, that would be Batman Forever. Like, in that group, that's where I would put it.
You know what? I'm just going to go with you on that one because I think there are a lot of mistakes in here. I would move Man of Steel and Thor. I would move.
Well, just in that range.
Oh.
Like, in the 10 that we just talked about. Yeah.
Oh, well. Okay, then I'll give it to Thor. Thor deserves to be in that range. It definitely deserves to be in the top 50, I would say, still. Same Man of Steel. Okay. What about you, Tim? Wes, did you give all these three yours?
Yeah, I did.
What? Tim?
So one that should be higher is The Crow.
Right.
Because that had a big difference in the way that superheroes could be perceived. They could be anti-heroes, which was not a situation that could happen before that movie. And also, there's a sentimental factor because Brandon Lee died.
But see, I also think that, like with anything else, because someone died, like we'll get to another movie on this list, it gets propped up maybe more than what it actually is.
Well, I don't think that's the case in this movie. I think that it's a great movie overall. I'm just saying, like...
I think of, like, Tupac and Biggie. They never had an opportunity to make a bad album.
They were a little limited in how they could finish things off because they lost their star when they were in the final days of shooting. So,
you know what?
I give them a little bit of a pass for some of that.
Okay.
A little bit of a spoiler alert. This one's not on the list, and I think it deserves to be in there just because it was kind of the start of the start of superhero movies becoming like cool and actually like watchable.
Fantastic
Batman.
Four.
No, Blade.
Yes.
or the second Blade deserves to be in here to some extent.
Yeah, I agree.
I know it goes Blade, then X-Men, Spider-Man, and then it just continues to take off to when you get Iron Man. But I know Batman's a little different, but I mean, like Batman counts, but it's still a little bit different, I would say, just because the character and everything.
Well, it's a difference between being a movie about a superhero and being a superhero movie.
Exactly. So
let's go.
Number 40.
Number 40 here. 2011's Captain America: The First Avenger, number 40. Then we have 2006 Superman Returns at number 39.
It's a friggin' joke.
2011's X-Men First Class comes in at 38. 2000's original X-Men, number 37. Then at 2018's Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's a new edition that was adjusted from the last previous rankings, number 36. Much like number 35, 2018's Aquaman. 2007 Spider-Man 3, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, comes in at number 34. 2016's Doctor Strange at number 33. Number 32, we have 1992's Tim Burton's version of Batman Returns. And then the first installment of the Christopher Nolan Batman series, 2005's Batman Begins, comes in at number 31. So, one that's properly rated, one that should be in a higher group, one that should be in a lower group.
I think that Ant-Man and the Wasp in this group is fair. I think that one that should absolutely be freaking lower and jettisoned out of this list is Spider-Man 3. And one that should probably move up.
Oh my God, I can't believe that.
What?
You threw out Spider-Man 3 over Superman Returns?
Oh, yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're right.
That was just me course correcting you because I know how you think.
No. You're absolutely right. Superman Returns, Get Out. And I would probably say First Class or X-Men deserves to be up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Aquaman, I think, is in that right range, too.
Tim?
I agree on almost all those counts. I agree that you have to jettison Superman Returns.
Yeah.
It was just a weirdly unnecessary remake of
I just don't understand it, yeah.
And I agree that First Class should be higher, should be much higher.
Yeah.
One that I think that my initial gut reaction is it's too low in the rankings, but then when I think about everything that's going to come up ahead of it is the original X-Men movie.
Yeah.
I would have thought like, well, that was such an important milestone moment, and it's a good movie
bad.
overall.
It's pretty bad, though, if you look back on it.
No, but it was great at the time. You're like, that's
Right.
a perfect movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's because of all the movies that have come after it
But
that you
those
say,
movies
oh,
happen without that. Like that's
I know.
where
And I agree. You have to respect
Right.
the first ones. That
but it
comes
does
along.
it does affect how you feel where it should rank.
I'll say this: the jump from that to Iron Man is just
Even from X2. I think X2 is the best of that
yes.
trilogy.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Just to offer a little bit of difference, because I do agree Superman Returns should be off this list, but just to kind of switch it up a little bit, something that should be higher is Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Because if we're going off these Ringer rankings or Ringer criteria, the rewatchability of that movie is very low.
Of
Doctor Strange.
yeah.
I've seen no reason. That was available.
So
on
you
Netflix.
think that should be lower on the list? You think it should have a worse ranking?
Worst ranking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just go with that. Worst ranking.
Okay, thank
Worst
you.
ranking.
Yes,
Yes, there we go.
I think I confused myself
Yes,
there,
you did.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just not there for me. It's not something I want to watch.
I think that's fair. But that's
something
number 3 on this
that
list.
I think should be a little bit better, purely based off the rewatchability, and it's kind of like so bad it's good sort of thing. Is Spider-Man 3.
No.
I watch it every time that it's on like
No,
TV.
I know, and I
TNT,
got to give it
TBS.
respect for bringing Venom to the screen.
It's
Are you
bad.
serious? Exactly, it's bad.
It's bad, but the Topher Grace's Venom is awesome. The whole thing with James Franco is so awesomely bad. You have Tobey Maguire going emo, like it's so like what not now that I know what it is and like my expectations aren't there anymore. I can just sit back and be like, God damn it, this is such a funny
know
movie.
how
That's what I say about Suicide Squad, and you're like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Hold on,
I'm
because
not, okay, I can see that. But
you
this
know-
has had more time to marinate than
That is fair.
do you know how I've come to turn around and love Spider-Man 3? And I mean love Spider-Man 3. Is because I stopped for a minute and said, wait a minute, it's Sam Raimi.
right.
So instead of being the guy that he was trying to be with the first 2 Spider-Man movies, he goes full Sam Raimi and is like, I'm just going to make some weird Sam Raimi stuff. So it's basically the Evil Dead of Spider-Man movies.
Okay, I like that. See,
okay.
I think that's good.
Okay.
And then one that's properly rated, I will go with,
There are a couple in here that are properly rated.
I like Ant-Man and the Wasp. I did watch Aquaman recently, this past
Oh,
weekend,
I finally got through it?
and it's just like, it's fine.
Sitting in my DVR for a couple weeks now.
It's fine.
I'm surprised you don't want to give X-Men first class. I mean, you want to be different. That's fair.
Well,
understand.
I agree with you guys on
Yeah.
that. I just wanted to shout out some other movies
That's-
on here.
the
as
fact
well.
I overlooked the Superman one though is bad. That one's so awful. Oh my god, I'll never forget watching that as a kid in theater.
I just don't understand it.
I do forget a lot of it, but I remember seeing little highlights of it. But anyway, on to what is it? 30 to 21?
No, so we have 30. So yeah, also shout out Batman Returns, Batman Begins. I do love those movies too.
I meant
Like,
30 as well. Oh, sorry.
those are great movies. Like this was a really tough bracket right there. Mm-hmm. So number 30, we have 2014's X-Men: Days of Future Past.
Yep.
2018, new to this list, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 29. I believe this is the only animated film, by the way, on this list. And then we have 1981 Superman 2 at number 28. 2003 is the aforementioned X2, X-Men United at number 27. We have 2010's Iron Man 2. Can't forget Whiplash, number 26.
Yep.
2018's Deadpool 2 at number 25. Mm-hmm. Number 24, we have 2017's Logan.
Yeah.
Brand new one coming in, 2019's Captain Marvel at number 23. Then we have 2014's The Winter Soldier, Captain America. I said that backwards, but you get the idea. Number 22. And then at 21, we have 2015's Avengers Age of Ultron.
See, again, Wes, it's weird. I looked through this list, and it's hitting me even more now as I'm taking my time how brutal this thing is.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
really bad. I thought you were being sarcastic for a second
No.
there. Okay, you're going to have Avengers Age of Ultron ahead of Captain America and Winter Soldier. Get out of my face.
That doesn't make any sense to me either. Yeah.
Captain Marvel ahead of Logan. Logan is your 24. Logan's a top 10 comic book movie.
Yeah,
period.
I that's where I look at this section and I'm like, you've got at least 2 strong contenders to be way out
Way
of where
higher,
they're
yeah.
supposed
I
to be.
mean, I love Deadpool 2. I don't know if I don't think it goes this low. Iron Man 2 is going to be ahead of X2. Iron Man 2 was ahead of X2.
Yeah, no. If anything, I like
No,
Iron Man 3
I meant
more
Deadpool
than
2
Iron Man 2.
doesn't need to be higher. That's
What?
what I was scoffing at the idea of Deadpool 2 needing to be higher.
That's fine. I can live with that either way. I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
I'm kind of meh on Deadpool 2.
That's fine. I enjoy it, but either way, I'm not gonna die on that sword.
Sure.
You're not going to fall on that sword or die on that cross.
Die on that hill. That's
Yes,
what,
or that
that's
one
what
works
I'm looking for,
too,
die on the
yeah.
hill. And then 30 and 29, both of them, absolute joke that they're that low.
Those are two of my problems, and also the other one that I had an issue with was Logan.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
Logan. I mean,
Top 5.
Logan has to be the one that's moved up for me. It has to be as much.
Okay, so yeah, one that you don't agree, one that should be worse, one that should be better, and then one that's properly rated.
I would say that Captain Marvel being 23, I think I'm fine with that. And Avengers: Age of Ultron, I would probably be the one I would move down in the course of it all. Although my brother tells me he thinks it ages pretty well as you rewatch it.
I do think there's a rewatchability, and of course with Avengers: Infinity War and the events of Avengers: Endgame, there's a lot of importance placed upon that movie. So I if you want to go back and watch it and kind of piece things together, I get that, but entirely way too high. I think that should be worse. I think Captain America: Winter Soldier should be better.
Yeah.
I think Captain Marvel should be way worse. I don't like the rewatchability factor of that movie. I've tried to rewatch it since, and that it's tough. I legitimately tried to give it a second chance, and it was just lost me on it.
Redbox?
Digital.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay.
One that's properly rated. I would say X2, X-Men United.
Really?
Yeah.
In that group,
mid-20s. Yeah, in that grouping.
I'd give Superman 2 my properly rated.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I think
good.
that's fair. I mean, as much as
I'm more of a Superman 4 type of guy.
really.
Yeah, as a kid, I loved that movie.
Oh man.
It's a big Richard
No
Pryor
wonder
fan.
you like Spider-Man 3 and Superman 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know about Wes.
Rocky 4, right? No?
Rocky IV, yes. If you had
Yes,
said Rocky
Rocky
5,
IV.
we would have had a problem.
Yes. Hey, Tommy.
But
Hey, yo, Adrian. I did it.
Spider-Verse needs to be higher, but I'm not going to pick that as my one because Logan will figure
Trumps
high
that.
in my rankings. So that has to be there. But as I said, Superman 2 can stay where it is. One movie that can drop the hell down from that list, Iron Man 2. Just not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. And I'm a big Iron Man fan in general, but that's the worst of the trilogies.
I'm looking at. We're dipping into the 20 to what is it?
11.
11 range, and I'm already seeing the second one. It's like there are a bunch of movies on this last grouping that I would put ahead of number
Now,
19.
it is tough. It's a tough assignment as we're going through it, too, because now we're getting, everything's kind of getting log jammed and
Wes,
tightened up.
It's a tough assignment, but we're in agreement on a good chunk of stuff, and you and I do look at things differently.
I agree.
Tim is kind of a blend of the two of us. I mean, they're getting stuff wrong that they shouldn't get wrong.
Right.
And that's what annoys me about these lists. When I was doing list writing, I was like, all right, I understand people are going to disagree with me, but I'm going to do my best to get this absolutely right.
Right.
And this is what annoys me. It's just, we're going to give our favorites, but these are supposed to be objectively the better ones. And it seems like some of
it's
this is
based off
obvious.
their systems, and then again, they're doing the last two aren't really objective. That's I think that's supposed to be among the Ringer staff.
The last two?
Yeah, the timelessness and the rewatchability on a scale of 1 to 10, right?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. Yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah, let's go through the
So
other
it's
one.
it's almost like 50-50 subjective objective. Right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Number 20, 2017's Thor Ragnarok.
20.
That's tough.
That's a joke.
20 at number 19, we have 2017's Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I mean, that.
Yeah. 1989's Batman at number 18. 2016's Deadpool at number 17. We have 2013's Iron Man 3 at number 16.
Definitely thought after I saw Thor Ragnarok, there's no way this is definitely not better than Iron Man 3.
Well, what gets flawed is what kind of skews the whole system is how much money it made. And that made a ton of money.
Yep.
So I think that's what kind of skews it.
Yep.
2019 Spider-Man Far From Home. It came out just this year at number 15. And right behind that is the original, or not the original, but the first one in the reset MCU, Spider-Man 2017's Homecoming at number 14. 2014, we have 2014's Guardian of the Galaxy at number 13. There's too many numbers in here. I'm confusing myself.
You're good.
2012's The Dark Knight Rises at number 12. That number 11, we have 2016's Captain America: Civil War.
Okay, I've said it before. I put Winter Soldier ahead of Civil War. Guardians of the Galaxy is absolutely the one that needs to move up. There are a bunch that are a joke here. Or a few that are a joke here. Iron Man 3, Get Out. And if I was to say one is fine, I'd probably go with one of the Spider-Man movies. I'd be fine with either of those.
Yeah.
There are a couple others though, that should move up and some that should maybe move out. Where would you guys go?
Tim?
I would
Still mulling it over.
I would agree that Iron Man 3 gone.
See ya.
I would say, in terms of one that is kind of right where it needs to be, I'd say Spider-Man: Far From Home is,
I think with both of those you're right.
And but in terms of the one that needs to go up, Dark Knight Rises.
You think so?
Again, that'd be in my top 5.
Dark Knight Rises
Really?
would be. Not Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises.
Putting it in perspective, maybe top 10. Just thinking about what I'd have to put into my 5.
Okay.
But it definitely deserves to be higher than number 12.
This is your so when you say your top 10, you're talking about your personal favorites, right? Not your objective top 10, because those are two different lists for us.
Objective.
Objective.
I'm not talking about favoriteness at all. I'm talking about objective critical analysis.
I don't know if it would be in my objective one, but okay. Wes, have you figured it out yet?
Yeah, properly rated number 18, Batman. The original Batman. I think that's good because again, I really like rewatching that movie. I think it's a fun kind of, like you had mentioned, a comic book movie about Batman Forever. Kind of stays true to that Tim Burton type of feel to it. And again, it kind of launched everything. But I'm in lockstep. As much as I'm an apologist for Iron Man 3, I do enjoy that movie. I do think the rewatchability is fairly high. Mm-hmm. You get all the Iron Man suits and everything. Number 16, no.
Yeah,
okay, it has to be worse.
Shot.
It has to be worse. And then I'm also in lockstep with you in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it has
Fantastic movie. Again, rewatchability very high. The timelessness of it, if we're taking that into account. I'm not sure what you remake from that.
Some of the most rewatchable movies that we've seen from the comic book movies are in this bracket here.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing with Civil War. The rewatchability is very high for me because I just like seeing I can skip through it and pick up different parts, or if it's on TV.
That's fair.
And because I'm just waiting for that airport scene, which is awesome.
Thor Ragnarok, Deadpool, and Guardians, all crazy rewatchable. And to me, that's the most important thing because they're funny. They got some kick-ass action, ups and downs.
Rewatchability is my biggest factor in all of that, and all of the 4 contributing factors in that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And humor's so important. I'll take the last group of 10. West.
Yes. So we should have been switching off from that.
Well, I wanted to. No. I'm trying to give you a break. You need to apologize to me. So at number 10, we have 2008's Iron Man. Number 9 is 2018's Avengers: Infinity War. Number 8, Wes is gonna love this one.
I know.
Number 8 is 2017's Wonder Woman. Number 7 is 2004's Spider-Man 2. Number 6 is 2002's Spider-Man. Number 5 is 1978's Superman. Number 4, 2012's The Avengers. Number 3, Avengers Endgame from 2019, obviously this year. Number 2 is 2018's Black Panther. And then number 1 is 2008's The Dark Knight. Okay, Wes, do you want to start off this one?
Yeah. So first and foremost, I think, in my opinion, they got number 1 right. Say what you will about this list. You can argue and you can fight it up and down, but for me, The Dark Knight was awesome. I saw it multiple times in theaters. It stays with you for a time. It's not just a superhero movie in a lot of ways, which I think it kind of transcends that, which I'm not sure you can say about most of the movies on this list. That one properly rated. I think
never gonna get in a fight over that. That's someone says it's number 1. I'm fine with that.
I'm gonna leave aside number 8 here. I think number 2, Black Panther, should be worse.
Yes, I agree with you.
Great movie. Top 10 maybe. Top 20 definitely.
Top 20 definitely.
But not number 2.
No,
not number 2.
I'm sorry. I mean, that to me.
Yeah, we're all in agreement with that. It's so overrated.
Look. I don't like to throw this around a lot, but that to me is pandering. no way Black Panther is the second best comic book movie of all time.
It was a great movie.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it.
In terms of cultural significance, it's unparalleled. No question about it. But when it comes to just talking about comic book movies, the enjoyment of it, and everything else that goes into it, I'm sorry.
It's not the rewatchability is not that high.
No,
the
it's
whole
not.
time I'm watching it, it just felt like a filler movie.
Yeah.
It's like we got to learn all this stuff between Avengers movies.
It's very rich. It's like very rich in detail and everything
Yes.
like that, which I think is cool. But again, like I just kind of like,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoyed it. I think I've watched it a second time. That was it. To say it's number 2 is just. I'm not saying it can't be your personal number 1, but if you're talking about an objective list, this is supposed to be somewhat objective, Wes. It can't be.
Is it a great movie outside of the larger story that it serves? No. Like as a standalone movie, if that was the only movie as part of the MCU, if there was no MCU, it's just Black Panther, you'd be like, that movie's not really. It's cool, I like it, but like it's not a great movie.
My last one that should be higher on the list or better on the list, I should say. Number 7, Spider-Man 2.
Really?
Love Spider-Man 2. Yeah.
It's a tough call though to
have that higher
in the top.
Yeah, I could swap out
Putting it in the
Superman.
top 6.
Swap out Superman for it.
I mean, I think Superman is only number 5 because of the significance that it had.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Other than that, it's not a really awesome movie.
Right. Obviously, like when you talk about the timelessness of
Not
it.
rewatchable.
Not that rewatchable, but can it be remade? It has multiple times over.
And failed.
Right. Yeah.
They're still like the remakes are still far worse than the original.
Right.
So, Tim, where would you go on this?
So, as much as I love it, I would have to say, I mean, and granted, I could make the same argument about Wonder Woman needing to be dropped down. I could make the same argument about, and in fact, I will make the same argument about Black Panther. I was going to say that I would knock down Spider-Man, the 2002 one,
The first one. Yeah.
yeah. But I will say it's got to be Black Panther. Like, I agree, top 20 at best, because Dark Knight would still be number 1 for me, but my number 2 is going to be Logan.
Okay, yeah, I can understand that too.
Because you're looking at 2 movies that are superhero movies that are just movies that happen to be about a superhero.
Right.
I think Black Panther might be a top 10 MCU movie. To say top 10 superhero movie, though,
Yeah, and I think that's fair.
Is a reach.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement on that.
It's just not. It's not a bad. That's not saying it's a bad movie. It's just that I feel sometimes it just gets overrated because of the cultural significance, and that is important. But that's not when we're talking about this stuff. That's not what's immensely factored into it all. I mean, X-Men's also about what's used to be about cultural significance and all that stuff and hatred and everything. So I would say, I mean, look, Black Panther is on my list for when that goes down. If we're doing an objective list, I don't think I'd have Spider-Man 2 up here.
I'd have it ahead of Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. I would have Spider-Man 2. I look at Spider-Man like I do X-Men and I do Iron Man, if we're talking about like the significance of it. But Spider-Man 2 is better than Spider-Man, so it's fair. I would probably say Spider-Man would probably drop out of this for me. I would probably, in terms of importance and everything, I'd probably move Iron Man up if I'm making an objective list. And then one that I'd say is fine where it is. Being in this group, not being at number 3. Being in this group, I would say Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
I agree with you on Dark Knight. That I don't have it as my number 1, but it's top 3, no questions asked.
Well, Chris Ryan here, obviously, of The Ringer, his first 3 words when he's talking about this movie, he says, it's heat with capes. Which I think is awesome. It's like a heist movie, but with the superheroes.
But and the superheroes were just incidental to the story that they were telling.
Right.
You're basically telling the story of good versus evil, but in a way where they're, it's all a matter of perspective. Mm-hmm. And so it's a story that can be applicable. You can apply that to regular everyday life. Is the mayor of Fall River a criminal, or is he, just a product of what the system has allowed?
Wow. That's yeah.
I basically just said Jazel Correa is the Joker.
Yeah. Well, I think he did. Yeah.
Well, you think he said it pretty much on the nose there.
Those are hot takes right there. I like that. This is what we've been missing.
Was that a little too on
and
the
for
nose
all of our audience,
I think it was perfectly placed on the nose.
for all the audience that's not local, look up Jazel Correa and read the story because it's entertaining no matter where
it's
you're
amazing stuff. You would think this would be written in a movie or something.
It's almost like, so basically imagine if somebody took young Lex Luthor and made him mayor of a city. And he basically got to use it as his own criminal enterprise.
Yeah,
I like that.
Only without the shaved head.
Right.
Yes. Now we have our personal top 10 list. This is not an objective list. There is a difference. Wes and I are capable of doing that. Tim is as well.
Yep.
We're doing our personal top 10s starting from the bottom. Tim, were you able to make your list?
No, I didn't make a list, but
Okay.
as I said, like my same list would be the same, because if I'm going to watch a movie, I want to watch a great movie. It's not just about having fun necessarily. Like I want to think about it. So it would still be Dark Knight, Logan, and number 3 would probably be. See, I would never rank like Endgame's a great fun movie, like to watch and to cheer. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, like if I had to show somebody a superhero movie and say this is what a superhero movie could be, like that would almost be what people would look at and be like, yeah, and that's why I'm not into it. Mm-hmm. Like if you're anti-superhero movies, Endgame is the movie that proves your point.
See, but
right. Okay.
That's not what I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at my personal one. If I'm like if I have a weekend and it's like, Nick, you can just sit and watch 10 movies. You have nothing to worry about.
If I'm in that situation, I watch the worst ones that I can. Because I'm like, why not? I'm not going to spend valuable time on these later.
Yeah, but why are you going to spend any time on it?
That's going to be the time. That's going to be the time that I choose to watch Iron Man 2, because I should probably watch it again, I guess.
Okay.
All right.
Wes, do you want to go first? Or do
I will. Yeah, I'll go first here. So at number 10, I have Iron Man.
Okay.
Number 9, Captain America: Civil War. Number 8, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Number 7, Batman Returns. Love me some Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Fantastic. And
great Paul Rubens cameo.
I'm trying to think. Christopher Walken, who is
Max
Cobb?
Shrek.
Shrek. Cobb is the Penguin, right? Isn't that his name?
Oswald Cobblepot.
That's it. Thank you. I don't know why I thought Cobb. Anyway, number 6, Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse. Rewatchability very high on that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of colons in my top 10 here, actually. Colon.
They're all colons.
Yeah, it's all filled with colons. Number 5, Avengers: Endgame. Number 4, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Spider-Man 2. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 at number 3. Avengers: Infinity War at number 2. Number 1, The Dark Knight.
Avengers: Endgame. You disrespect that movie so damn much, Wes. It kills me.
It's sad, man.
So just honorable mentions real quick. Iron Man, X-Men: Days of Future Past, and Infinity War is an honorable mention for me. It does not crack my top 10. I feel like Avengers: Endgame wiped out a lot of it.
I can understand that.
It's impacted for me kind of negatively. Number 10, Wonder Woman. I have so much fun watching that movie. Number 9, I'm surprised I had it this low on my list, Thor: Ragnarok. Number 8, X2. I love Nightcrawler. And Wolverine, that's one of his best ones. Yeah. Number 7, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 6, Captain America: Winter Soldier. Number 5, I never thought I'd say this, Into the Spider-Verse. Such a damn good movie. It just top to bottom, outstanding. It's a book coming to life on screen.
It really is,
Unlike you say how it's the only animated one in the list. Don't get me wrong, I love like Under the Red Hood, and there are other good ones. But
they didn't come out in theaters, right?
Exactly, and they're totally different. That's like the cartoons we grew up with as a kid. Respect them, I enjoy them, but this is just
and this is an Oscar winner.
Yeah, that's true too. Number 4, Deadpool. And honestly, this may be the most rewatchable one for me on this list. I love Deadpool. Number 3, Dark Knight. But again, these next 3 are all fairly close. Number 2 is Logan. Of these 3, from start to finish, I think Logan is the most rewatchable. But that last hour of Avengers: Endgame, the battle, everything like that, outstanding. It gets my number 1. I've never been so excited in a movie theater in my life. I didn't know it was possible.
Okay, I like that. It's a respectable list.
He's never been to an adult theater. That's why.
That's true. That's a good point. That Combat Zone.
Oh, have you been, Wes?
No, I can't say that.
I get the feeling that Tim may have once or twice.
Pee-wee and I like to go sometimes on the weekends.
Oh yeah. Is that where you shoot all you bring all your chatterbait buddies?
What do you shoot?
Where I shoot what at the theater?
Shoot your chatterbait videos. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yes,
all
but
right.
you're not the one that does it. You're the
Among
one
other things.
Yes, exactly.
My chatterbait videos are just me talking about comic book movies.
Oh.
While nerds tip me.
Oh, well, nerds tip you?
I like that.
Maybe we should start doing that.
Are you
Let's
wiggling
just put the show on Chatterbait, yeah.
Are you wiggling your toes while you do it?
Two places. I'm also mukbanging at the same time.
Oh, jeez.
Two places we need to start carrying this show: Twitch and Chatterbait.
Right.
Twitch and Chatterbait.
I like that. Okay. All right.
So, Wes.
Let's put that on my to-do list.
In In the course of getting ready for this show, I'm sure you've had some other stuff that's been on your mind. Lay it on me.
Yes. So what's been on my mind is I want to meet the people who handle the descriptions for the Comcast Xfinity info guides.
Oh, yes. Tim, I don't think you saw this on Twitter.
So I went viral over the weekend.
I mean, I've always had a problem with this, but what particular?
So I'm scrolling through the TV guide. I'm actually trying to find like a college football game, and they have the on demand that's kind of popped in like in between the channels when you're going through the guide, and it's like click here to watch this newest movie that's on demand. They had Dark Phoenix that's on digital release, and it said X-Men Dark Phoenix semicolon an X-Men's fans' worst nightmare. And I'm like, oh, they changed the name for it. And then, like, it got picked up, Casey Walsh, our guy over Geeks Worldwide, spread it out there, and it just started spreading like wildfire to the point where Nick had to turn off his notifications. Like,
he got over 100 retweets and at least 600 likes.
700 likes, somewhere in that range.
Nice.
650. Yeah, unbelievable.
I remember seeing it, and then I was like, I got to 20 real quick.
The correlation, though, like 0 followers.
Outstanding. It's
well,
unbelievable.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, I know. But that's funny. Like Nick asked me, and I'm like, I don't know.
I didn't know that's how it worked. You knew how that worked?
What, they'll get no followers from it?
Yeah.
When was the last time you followed somebody because you like something they tweeted out?
Or that had like a whole bunch of likes. Yeah, like that makes sense to me. Okay. But you figured a couple people.
Now, if he was blue checkmarked, that'd be a different story.
That would be a different story. In fairness, he did plug the pod though, and that had a few impressions, so that was good.
Yeah, it went from like that. The original tweet had like 65 or 70,000 impressions, and then the follow up tweet, which says like follow the podcast, had like 2,000.
Did you tag Xfinity in it?
Oh no! See, I should have.
You should have, but also they don't really have a great corporate branding identity.
Okay.
If it was like T-Mobile, where like they're really
right.
savvy, or like Wendy's or something, then it would have really gone crazy.
The point though is that they've also did this for Avengers Endgame too, because I couldn't find the exact wording of it. But they also updated it later that day, and I should have tweeted it out while I was like riding the hot streak.
I'm surprised you didn't.
But it was like Spider-Man leaving the MCU makes this villain more lovable, or like something to that effect.
So what you're saying is you're just going to start a new Twitter account where it's just Comcast labeling.
Yeah, exactly.
It's unbelievable.
Which I thought was pretty funny as well. But that's what I got.
When I saw that, I was like, what the hell is going on? Who did this? Like, this is Wes's best friend. This is what he needs in his life.
This is my drinking buddy right here. That's what I'm doing.
That's your drinking buddy. Okay, so some of you guys may remember from earlier in the summer, it must have been June or July, something like that. I had the media game in New York. That's where I got my toe. Both my toes got messed up. But
it was both of them, yeah?
Well, I don't know how the right toe, big toe got messed up, but the left one, I wore one on a foul tip. But I had the media game at Fenway this week.
Very cool.
And I started on the mound.
Okay.
Still just an opener. They're not getting stretched out or anything like that. I was very thankful. First batter I faced, I get behind him 3-0, start coming back, get it to 3-2 West. And then I'm like, all right, well, I got to blow it by him. Not that that's usually ever an issue with these guys. And it kind of got away from me a little bit, and it may or may not have grazed his head. It was going right at his face, and then he turned out of the way, and then it grazed him. So I was very thankful for that. But I was so in the zone, I'm like, you know what? I'm not apologizing. None of that crap. Not today.
Former Big Ten pitcher.
Yep. Yes, sir. Well, hey, you know what? It was effective because everybody else was shaking in the box.
Well, this is like a classic, like Randy Johnson on, what's his name? Who was the former Baseball Tonight analyst in the All-Star game?
John Kruk.
Yes.
Well, Tom Verducci was in the batter's box 2 batters later, and he took a couple swings. It was like he was scared for his life.
Oh, really?
For sure.
He doesn't strike me as a strong baseball player.
He is good. He's one of the best hitters in that game.
Really?
One of the best players. Someone told me they think he played in college, but they don't know. They couldn't tell me where. I haven't asked him before, but I will ask him sometime next time I see him, because
so he was playing for the Yankees media.
Yeah. They say New York versus Boston media, but it's he's baseball. Okay. New York.
But
media.
You're not getting any Mets guys though, are you?
No, but there was one guy. Their number 2 hitter wears Mets gear. So I don't know.
He's probably a Mets fan.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of baseball. Talk about the Springsteen stuff. A lot of guys like the Mets too, which I like the Mets growing up too.
'Cause I'm sure if they came from Long Island, they're like lovable losers, that sort of thing. I feel like Long Island and Boston, are like kind of similar in the same sense.
Yeah, I think that's actually fair.
Well, it used to be the amazing Mets, the comeback Mets that would get the older generation, and I think that there was a lot of people that became fans of the '86 Mets too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
definitely.
a lot of the guys that you're facing are probably from that era now.
That's a good point. Now I got a couple more things from that game.
Okay.
So the next inning, I blank that I'm like middle of the inning, something happens, I forget whatever, and I just totally forget like I'm actually in the game and not warming up. So I give my catcher the fastball sign, like I'm going to throw a fastball. I'm only throwing fast and curves. This guy's better than the normal catcher I have, but I'm still not throwing a curve with runners on base because I'm not confident I'm not going to bury it in the dirt because I haven't been throwing it, and I'm not confident he's going to block it. And I'm also not confident if I throw for a strike that he's necessarily going to catch it.
Who's your catcher?
Rob Bradford, my boss.
Yeah.
So anyway,
So you also don't want to, make him look bad and put him in a tough spot.
no, but he actually did a really good job, much better than Evan Drellick of The Athletic. I'll give him that.
Oh.
So anyway,
Now, he was Boston media.
he used to be. He's not anymore. He wasn't playing for us this time, so it looks like he is making the switch over to New York, which
Okay.
I will enjoy that very much.
Yeah.
A lot of hooks coming your way. But anyway, so I give the fastball sign, and it's actually one of the PR people for the Yankees, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? I was like, well, I'm throwing a fastball here. I'm not throwing a curveball. He now knows. So you know what? I'm just going to yell it. Yeah, I'm throwing an effing fastball. Hit it. I yelled it 60 feet away. And I just ramped up, and Rob didn't even have to move. And the guy didn't swing. He's like, yeah, that was a fastball, all right.
Was it a strike?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rob set up like right out in the middle. That's usually just where I throw it, and they don't hit it. Last thing, I caught the last, 5 innings, something like that.
Okay.
So a guy ran on me. I threw him out. This was the same guy I drilled in the face. Okay? Or the
He
head.
ruined
whatever.
his whole day.
So not only did I throw him out, Wes, I get up, I throw it down, I miss to the right of the bag, so the side that he's running on. Okay? It's going right at his head again. I almost drilled him in the head.
stinged him in the head.
I almost did. He doesn't have baseball pants on, so he stops short and doesn't slide. Chris Cotillo of Mass Live catches the ball, tags him out. It's like if I just bullied the guy into getting out.
Well, he should be wearing baseball pants.
He should
first
be
of all.
wearing baseball pants.
Listen, I know being in
Does
this
this have
business
leggings
for,
or something? I'm sorry.
No,
like
just
that.
shorts.
Yeah.
being in this business for a long time, I know how much every sports writer thinks that they're a good athlete. Mm-hmm. Does anybody else take this game as seriously as you do?
That was my question. Like, did
This
it
was the
matter
most
if
serious-
he's giving away like a fastball if they're not going to be able to hit it anyway? Like, that was my question.
There are 3 guys who can hit it if my fastball, if I slow down. Verducci, Ben Walker of the Associated Press, who's like, I no disrespect to Ben, but I think he's over 60, and he somehow always gets contact if I'm not throwing a hook in there. Like if I don't mix it up.
Good for him.
And there's another guy named Jake Tapper, who I believe is with the AP as well. He
No, he's
played
at CNN.
What?
Different Jake Tapper.
Okay,
Sorry.
I think it's Tapper, but he's with the AP, and he played club at Northeastern. But again, if I don't mix it up, I'm just throwing him fastballs. He will.
No, but
probably
the question I asked
Is
wasn't
it Tapper?
is anybody else as good as you? I said, does anybody else take it as
They all
insanely-
do. They all do. But we had lost 3 games in a row, and I went into this and I said, you know what? We've lost 3 in a row. I'm starting. I need to set the tone. I need to try and scare the crap out of these guys. Not hit somebody, but let them know.
But brush him back. That's
Yeah.
my play, Jerry. That's my play.
Let them know. Look, guys, if we really want to win this game, I'm just going to pitch the whole time. So just get used to it.
Did you pick up the win?
I did not. We won, but June Lee of ESPN came in, gave up a couple runs unearned, and then we ended up winning 4-2. So he got the win. But I caught him the rest of the way. So
Okay.
yeah, it worked out. We were redemption. We needed it.
Now, my other question is,
Pedro's proud of you?
you're throwing.
I'm gonna.
So you just mentioned hooks and fastballs. You got no changeup. Speaking of Pedro Martinez,
Changeup's my best pitch, Wes, but
Okay.
I'm not confident as much as mine moves a ton, and I'm not confident that they're not going to hit it because it's just so much slower. It's like that's the speed they're used to hitting.
Okay.
Even though it's going to move, like that's
so
what,
you're
that's what they want.
throwing straight 4-seamers.
Straight 4-seamers. They don't.
Do you have a 2-seamer?
I was a 2-seamer changeup guy in college.
Oh no!
Yes.
You just don't feel confident that the movement's there, or that
the other
they'll
problem
be
is
able to catch it, or
more. That's the other thing is I'm not confident they'll catch it because those things both moved a lot.
Yeah.
a lot. They were
Okay.
really good. I mean, guys didn't hit. I can show you highlights. I have their stuff on YouTube. Like I can show you my changeup. It was. I give 2 extra.
like a Bugs Bunny type of like what are you throwing? Are you throwing a circle
I could
change
throw
or
it
like
where I want.
3-finger? or?
Circle change. I had it set. I gripped it just like my 2-seamer, except obviously moving my fingers over.
Yeah.
And I could throw it where I wanted to, when I wanted to, in any count. That's why I didn't give until my final game of my senior year. Now I didn't have that changeup really till I was a junior summer. But I didn't give up an extra base hit on that in my senior year. 22 appearances, I forget how many innings till my last game. 2 extra base hits in that game, and that was it.
No kidding.
So like that's how good it was. It was just guys didn't touch it.
They take a yard on those, or I know you didn't say home run.
One was a home run out of the park.
Yeah.
One was an inside the park home run. So take that for however you
So
will.
one does you blame on the outfielders?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe.
Okay.
So
but one was definitely my fault.
Since we talked about the Ringer, I'm sure Bill Simmons is watching this
of
episode
course. Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Change My Mind. So, Bill, if you're still watching at this point, give us a call because Wes and I want to put together an HBO documentary chronicling Nick getting ready for next year's media game.
I think that would be great.
No, last year was show and go. This year was all show and go. You want me to do it like for real? It's just
We want it like with the dramatic music.
What if I told you
One
a washed
man
up Big Ten pitcher
in a world
would
with
put the media
UCL.
market, the number 5 media market in the country on his back, and defeat the number 1 media market in the world.
in a world where podcast hosts carry Theracanes.
Oh, I hate you so much. When we have him back on again next time?
Yeah, it's going to be like just for you guys for a couple weeks.
Oh, that's right.
yeah, you're gonna be stuck
Get
with me.
used to it, yeah.
Oh, jeez. But seriously, if he actually wanted to do that, I would train for that. For an HBO documentary, for laughs and stuff, I'd do it.
Yeah, call it Balco, we'll get it going.
We need to somehow put Danny McBride in this.
Yes.
Oh, you can be my strength coach.
And
Or a
and
pitching
Andy
coach.
Samberg after that tennis documentary that he made. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Bash Brothers, the unauthorized Bash Brothers.
I haven't watched that yet.
That's
no.
funny. It's good. It's a quick watch,
It's
too.
very weird. Yeah, half hour long. That's it, right? Very odd. But anyways, Wes is getting Well, should I say that now or no?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
He's getting married this weekend. So after episode 33, Wes will be a married man.
Yes. Officially off the market.
Officially off the market. And I am very excited for the festivities.
Yeah, should be fun.
I thought he was going to say he's very excited you're off the market and out of his way.
Well, no, obviously, I mean, apparently they had some sort of conversation with Julia and Nick there. So
Just wait till
maybe
how
on my
awkward it gets on the
birthdays.
first anniversary.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
excited to hear how that goes when you get home.
Well, my birthday's in August, so keep that in mind. So we got a whole nother year before our rendezvous. Viewing of the rendezvous.
I don't want to watch.
Chatterbait, all that stuff. It's all
Mukbang.
tying back together, yeah.
But Tim and I will figure out it'll be TBD for next week. But you're going to the Bahamas still?
Yes, the part of the Bahamas that is not ravaged by Hurricane Dorian. There was like one island, the island of Nassau, which I still feel like a little bad going there. Only a little bit though.
Yeah.
You know, like who knows what people's extended families. Like I don't know how people are split up on the islands. Who knows? And I'll just be there like, no, chop me up another coconut.
Yeah,
I'll take 2.
You're helping them get some money, man. You're helping them out in a way.
That's a good point.
Wes is giving back. Wes,
That's their major economy.
This is what.
Instead of just donating like $10 to like a GoFundMe or something. Mm-hmm. No.
Yep, you're reading my mind. Unbelievable.
And I'm going to Sandals, Bahamas. So we are.
It might all be one place now after the hurricane.
So I think we're going to be recreating the office photo of Pam or Jan and Michael Scott, or like Jan doesn't have the shirt on, she's laying down, and I'm in the sandal shirt with like a couple of drinks or something like that on the beach. So we're going to try and recreate that.
All right. Well, you have fun, brother. You deserve the vacation.
Thanks very much.
I'm very happy for the two of you.
Yes.
Tim,
You're stuck with me.
This means war.
I don't know what we're gonna do next week.
We're going to celebrate our honeymoon.
Oh.
They're not. People aren't ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready for Wes to know about that.
I
'cause he's
think I
gonna
just
listen
found
later.
out.
Shoot.
I think I just heard. Yeah.
Subscribe to our Chatterbait channel.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.